how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm here in beautiful Wisconsin. Trucked it over here last night. Thanks to the hours of service being exempt on grocery loads, I was able to drive when I wanted to. Thank you for that. So yesterday I got loaded. I was going to take a nap. I got tired driving over there to make the pickup. Not like drowsy tired, but like I felt like, maybe if my alarm hadn't went off, I probably would have slept another hour or two. So I got loaded. And how come is it when I'm in a hurry, it takes 4 hours to load a truck, and when I want to take a nap, it takes 25 minutes? But honestly, I'm not complaining. I'll take a quick load any day. That's what she said. But I was, working my way over this way, got tired, took a nap in Minnesota right after I got loaded. Did set an alarm, took a 7-hour nap. So apparently, yes, I did need a nap. But I didn't have to force myself to drive in to when I was tired. You know what I'm saying? I stopped, I took that 7-hour nap, I got up, I drove about 5 hours over here. All is well. I love this. So this is the weekly recap video, and we are going to recap this past week. And no, I do not think rates are going down as the thumbnail question asked. I worked a 5-day week. That's why my revenue was in the 7,000s, because if I would have worked those other 2 days, I was coming out of Minnesota, I easily could have tacked on another 2,000-3,000 and had a really good week. Decided to take a day at the house, just what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. And I want to talk about rates real quick, though. I want to talk about what rates are doing, how to calculate rates, and what else? Freight lanes. Yes, freight lanes. Someone asked me if they should run a reefer out of Florida, if they think living in Florida, it's okay to run a reefer. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. While I got you here, hit that thumbs up. If you could, hit the subscribe. Think about it at least. Sit back in your thinking chair and light your pipe, put on your robe, and just give it some thought. You'll like it, because we do this every week. We do a lot of lives. We talk a lot of trucking, and I enjoy it, at least. I don't know. I think maybe some of you guys that are watching that are not subscribed would enjoy it. So think about it. And check out the Mud Flap app in the description. I've got another channel called Truck Diabetes about trucking with type 2 diabetes. Check that out. Mud Flap's going to save you fuel. If you're responsible for buying the fuel that goes into your tanks, check out Mud Flap. You're going to save some money along your routes. So let's get into freight a little bit. Let's talk about freight. Because when the rates are up, everybody wants to talk about freight. I don't think they're going down. Like I said, I've been noticing about the same rates. I did 2 loads last week, one out of Minnesota over to Maryland. Had 2 drops in Maryland, finaled in Washington, D.C. $4,800 on that load. Second load coming out of Virginia, $2,050 to come out of Virginia. It is what it is. That's $288 a loaded mile. Not all miles, just the loaded miles. That's $288 a mile, which is par of the course for average weekly reefer rates last week were right at $280. So, I stayed right on the average. And let me tell you how I think of freight lanes. Freight lanes are a 2-part equation, going in and getting out. Now, I recommend if you pick your own loads, or if you have your own authority, pick 2 cities, not counting the one you live in. Pick 2 cities and work from where you live to a city and back, where you live to another city and back. Have you like 2 lanes that you focus on. And, because lanes can be a little bit seasonal, so I think you do better if you focus on 2, but you'll constantly be knowing the rates of there and going back, because you don't have to study the whole map. I think if you go right off the bat, I don't recommend like going and running wild, just run all over the country from here to there to there to here to here to there. It's too much to keep up with on rates. Pick your 2 cities, not counting the one you live in, just run them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I say that because sometimes when you go to leave out of your home city, things can be a little different as far as what you're used to. So maybe, if things fall off, there's too many trucks in your city going to the one city, you can play it by ear and pick a different city. So the guy asked me, and I appreciate the comments, by the way. Someone asked me in the comments, is living in Florida or running reefer rates, if you live in Florida, a good idea, or running reefer? I say running reefer anywhere is a good idea. Because you can heat freight and you can cool freight. And when you've got those two, that separates you out from a lot of the, just general loads. So, I like reefer. That's what I run. I'm at 80-20 split here, leased onto a carrier. And so my deal with it is like this. If you live in Florida, let's take Orlando, for example. Say you're going to run the lane from Orlando to, I'm just going to pick a random Dallas. Orlando to Dallas, okay? Here's how it should work. You should average whatever the reefer rates are for the week. You can look that up on most load boards. I know DAT has it. You can look at weekly reefer rates. So to go from Orlando to Dallas and Dallas back to Orlando, you should be getting close to the average weekly reefer rates. So instead of 280, let's make it 250 for round numbers, okay? So let's say you get $3.50 a mile from Orlando to Dallas. All right, you're all up here, woo, big money. And then when you get to Dallas looking for loads back to Orlando, they're like $1.50 a mile. And you're like, money, it's just how it is. You're not going to get it both ways. So, but let's run the numbers on that real quick. So you did $3.50 a mile from Orlando to Dallas, and now you're doing $1.50 from Dallas back to Orlando. Well, let's divide those miles. Let's divide them up. Let's add them and divide them and get an average of going out and going back. So that's $3.50 going out, $1.50 coming back. That's $5 total. If you add that, you divide it by 2. That's $2.50 a mile to go out and go back. And what did we say? We rounded it to $2.50 instead of $2.80 for the weekly. Let's say $2.50. Just for quick math, I did that. So if the weekly average is $2.50 and you ran out for $3.50 a mile, and you ran back for $1.50 a mile, you averaged $2.50. You were spot on the average. That's what rates should do. Okay, so if you're going into Florida for $4.50 a mile, you better believe coming out it's going to be like 80 cents to $1. It's just what it is. It averages out, and that's how freight lane works. So as long as you understand that and you keep track of that rate and that lane you're running, say the average weekly reefer rates stay at $2.50 a mile, and Orlando to Dallas drops down to $3 a mile. Okay, but now you need $2 a mile to keep that $5 to divide by 2. You see what I'm saying? You need to average $2.50 out and back per mile. And the rates are going to go up and rates are going to go down on the average. So if that average rate drops from $2.50 to $2, now if Orlando's paying, what, $3 a mile to come out, then you expect about a little over $1 to go back because it's $2 average. That's how freight lanes should work. It's very rare you're going to find loads that go from one hot market to another hot market that or boost you up. Now there's sometimes you'll catch loads that are out of the ordinary, like expedited loads, or maybe you just hit it at the right time, or you got a connection. And that's why I say work those lanes back and forth like that, because you will make connections quicker that way, and you provide a good service and you do what you say you're going to do, and people will take notice of that, because there's a lot of guys out here that don't do that. 2 simple things. Provide a good service. Do what you say you're going to do. It's like a unicorn in trucking sometimes. So if you provide those 2 things consistently, people will start to notice, and you won't have to be taking subpar freight. You will build connections, and over time you'll find, hey, I like to load out of this place. I know the broker that's got those loads because I run this lane back and forth all the time. You get that broker a call up, and they're like, hey, yeah, I got one of those for you. You call them 3 days in advance because they can trust you, because they know you. Maybe not the big brokerages because they know so many people. But if you get an agent at a big brokerage, it can do you the same way as a small brokerage. Just a little food for thought there for you. So let's get down to what I did this week. My first load, Minnesota to 2 stops in Maryland, 1 stop in DC, $4,800 on that. I'm going to add in $279 on that revenue because I got reimbursed for tolls on that one. So I wanted to show you all the numbers. I thought about just leaving that $279 out and taking it out, not putting it in the expenses, but I want to show you how that worked. And I did a video about that load. You can go back and check that one out. It's called $4,800 2-day run. That was a team load. I took a team load because I don't have hours of service right now. I recommend trying that if you're a guy that likes to run hard, and make sure it's doable. Like, don't take a team run that's like something that you're not willing to do. Don't take a 1,500 mile load that delivers in 36 hours if you're not willing to run that. Ran that load over. I did it, like I said, I did a video about it. I'm not going to go into much detail on that. It was $360 a mile to the carrier, $288 a mile to the truck on the 80-20 split. Second load, not as good of a load. It was a backhaul. It's big money going in, money coming out. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that load. 38,000 pounds, 34 degrees. Like I said, just not a banger, not a banger. So let's break down the big numbers. If you include the $279 of reimbursed tolls, I made $7,126 for the week. Total revenue, if you count that reimbursement on those tolls. Now the tolls don't hit the 80-20 split. So the 80-20 split was done on $6,850, which leaves me $5,480 to the truck. You add the $279 tolls in to the truck, I'm at $5,759. And I did total 2,722 miles this week. Now, like I said, it was a 5-day week, so that's like 500 miles a day. Not a bad week, not too hard. It kind of drug out a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but still doable. So that's 246 deadhead miles on 2,476 loaded miles. That is a 10% deadhead. Is what it is. 10% is kind of like my cutoff. I really don't want to go above 10% because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of miles. But then again, if the rate's right, don't be afraid to deadhead. But as far as a consistency on a weekly basis, when I think about loads, I try to be 10% or under. So with those numbers, that is $261 a mile to the carrier. That is $211 to the truck. Like I said, that's $288 loaded mile, which is right in the range of weekly average reefer rates. And that's like I said, not bad to be $261 with all miles. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it is. Like I said, it was a 5-day week. I left out Friday. I was back home. Let's see. I delivered Wednesday morning and took truck to the yard. Took off Wednesday, Thursday, left back out Friday. So I was home for 2 days. So that's why the revenue's down. And let's look at the expenses here real quick, okay? $787 on diesel fuel. $106 on reefer fuel. I did start the week with like a half a tank, and I ended the week on full, so that's why the reefer is up so high. $309 on tolls. Dun dun dun. Remember, $279 of that was reimbursed, so that's why the tolls were so high. This load not reimbursed. I will be going around toll roads on this one, so won't be getting tolls like that. $24 on scale. Cat scaled both those loads and spent $20 on parking over in Maryland the other day. Sometimes you do what you got to do. Total variable expenses, $1,246. And if you come back over here to the revenue side, so $5,759 to the truck minus the $1,246 in variable cost leaves me $4,513 to do what I got to do with. And that's where we're at for the week. So if you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Check out all those things going on down in the description. And by all means, take care of each other out there. Until later.